It's that time of the week. It's time for Design the Life You Love. This book is a workbook and a step-by-step guide, and you don't have to be a designer. I am anything but a designer. I don't know how to put things together to make them look pretty. I'm still learning and studying, and I do the best I can in Canva. But for my life and my business in 2018, this book is playing an important role. If you're ready to join us in designing the life you love, stay tuned. And March's video book review series in Time for Books at lipsticking.com has started. This is the second. This is should be March 9th at this point. And again, we're going to go through this book. Obviously, we won't be able to go through all of it, but I'm glad there are 5 Fridays in March. Now, what I really want to do this week is kind of get to the beginning, kind of get you oriented into the process that is used and how Elise says we have to think like a designer. And this is how to go about that. So you see, she has a lot of really great images and a lot of instruction and a lot of suggestions on what to do. She says to think like a designer, think positively, put yourself in the shoes of other people and see things from their perspective. That's empathy, and I talk a lot about empathy because women are really full of empathy on a general basis, and that's one of the things that makes us good at being managers and business people and entrepreneurs. She wants you to see the big picture, and this is something I struggle with. I really do. I don't necessarily see the big picture. I'm always looking at the minutia and just holding myself back. So I'm going to be practicing that. Collaborate with others. This is something I've talked about for years and years. I've said collaboration is not just making ideas richer, as she says, but it really helps enhance everything we do, and it builds friendships and relationships. And last but not least, always ask yourself, what if? So what if, as Tom says over at Old Dog Learning, you do live to be 100 years old? Are you ready for that? Thinking like a designer could be very helpful in that particular perspective. Now, in the book, we learned that she has been involved in product design. And so a lot of what she talks about is relevant to that. But isn't it funny how something as simple as product design can be very, very complicated? But what I mean is the idea, the concept of, okay, she made a better chair, she made a better toilet. It seems so simple from our perspective because we're not designers. But the reality is you can take that simple process and make something new with it. And that's why this book is so fascinating to me. When she says design is turning a constraint into an opportunity, you know, I had to stop and think, what does that mean? What does that mean to me? How can I do that? And so then we get to some really, really awesome things like the process. I want to get us started on the process. And I have to go back a little bit then. So in the process, here's the process of how the book works and how I'm going to talk about it too. So we have deconstruction, we have point of view, reconstruction, and expression. So think about that. Think about how you can deconstruct your life. So she talks about it, of course, and she teaches you, and she has the little pages where you can do your own input in the book itself. I did not do that. I am okay using my marker to mark the book. You'll see some places where I did, but I couldn't write in the book. So I wrote separately on a different page. And so after she talks a little bit more about the products that she's redesigned, she gets into something called time to get started. Oops. And you'll see that I highlighted all of that, and I want you to also. So I want you to, and you'll see in the text part of the blog post, to get started, here's what you need. Your book, favorite pen or pencil, optimism and playfulness, a cup of coffee or tea. Forgot my tea today, darn. A comfortable place at home or in a cafe, music, if you like music, and 20 minutes at a time. This is so doable, 20 minutes at a time. I don't know that I could go to a cafe and work on this. Maybe. I do like background noise. I do like hearing other things than just the thoughts rattling around in my own brain. But this book is really specific about telling you the process and having you participate in the process. And a really big part of that, which I want you to take away today, is designing your life is first you're going to deconstruct it. You're going to form a point of view. You're going to reconstruct and express your life as a new design. And we talked about that in the first review. We talked about the fact that it isn't really a design, it's a redesign. And Karen Gittleman left a comment about being in her third act as opposed to her second act. Absolutely. I mean, there are second, third, fourth, fifth acts. We human beings and we women entrepreneurs, there's so much that we want to do and accomplish, and it can't be done in your first act, maybe not in your second act. You can have as many acts as you like. And I wonder sometimes if they don't happen at the same time. So we have similar things that we're doing, but they're different. So we can talk about that another time. But, you know, I want to read this where she says, let's design life or soup. And for this part, I get my glasses back on. Imagine for a second that you're making soup. Step one is deciding what kind of soup and listing the ingredients. That list of ingredients is deconstruction. Step two is thinking about the ingredients. Maybe you want to change them because you're inspired by a new recipe, or because you like to improvise, or because you're limited by what you have in your pantry. This is point of view. Step three is making choices, like deciding to try a new recipe, but improving it based on what you have in the pantry. Putting it together in your own new way is reconstruction. Step four is making it real. Cooking your version of the soup, serving it in a nice bowl, sharing it with family on a cold winter night. In short, creating a great experience. That experience is expression. This just made so much sense to me and helped me because I am doing this now. I am cooking more than I used to. I mean, my family, I hope they don't watch this because I don't want them to know I learned how to cook. But my daughter, Margaret, cooks, and she's a fantastic cook, and she's teaching my granddaughter, Frankie. And I will tell you that it makes sense to me to take my life as a recipe, whether it's soup or cake or cookies. In fact, I've been experimenting with cookies quite a bit. And create the expressions and the point of view and the deconstruction and then the reconstruction and make it something that's really, really mine. That's what I want you to work on. I want you to think about those things. You'll see them in the text so that you'll be able to write them down and kind of work on them and follow along. Obviously, we're not going to finish the entire book in March, but we're going to get through as much as possible. And we're doing that because I want you to take this time to design the life you love and do it with me on Time for Books at lipsticking.com. This is Yvonne DiVita signing off. See you next time.